Welcome everyone back to the Gran Turismo 3 prize car only playthrough challenge deal thing. So today we are going to be picking up right where we left off. As you can tell, I have a lot less money, and that's because I spent a lot more money to try to get this Beetle to be competitive in the rally scene. We've done full suspension now. Um, like car's fully lightweight. It makes up the same power, but we've dropped the weight a good bit on it. As you guys might be able to see, where's the weight? Wait, where's that? What that is? 1,028 kilograms. So yeah, the car's lost a lot of weight. I mean, in comparison to the Cup car, which it actually weighs less than the Cup car now, which is kind of cool. So hopefully this will allow the car to be competitive in the Rally League. I do want to put some wheels on it though. Do I have the OZ like rally car style wheels? I have those. That's not exactly what I was thinking though. Let's go ahead and see about copping some wheels with this thing. I think those are also Oz Racing. Oop, not Rays. There it is. That's what I was looking for. So that one's got actual lugs. I kind of think I'll go the actual lugs instead of just like the center lock deal like on this one. More of an Aerodisc style. Very 90s, I'd say. For European cars, especially the Aerodisc kind of look. Alright, let's avenge ourselves. So if you guys saw last time out, we did the first 2 rounds of this Tahiti Maze event and also did the rally license, and I got smacked. I'm not even gonna lie. I choked, led 3 laps, choked the last 2. It was not a good time for me. And I think part of that is related to the car's weight. And, you know, we fixed the gearing issue because this car was also really tall on the gearing side, but now we had to fix the weight issue because the car is fairly heavy compared to a rally car. So now we should be in pretty solid shape to hold this race down. So we're just going to go for it. Also did the suspension and brake upgrade, so it should be a little bit better in the slippery twisties. All right, let's go. Turn 1. Not a whole lot better in the corner department here, but of course we are on dirt tires on tarmac at that point in the track. So keep in mind, this is about a 10-minute long race. This is going to be a good chunk of this video, so I apologize to those who wanted to see more than just dirt racing after we just spent 40-something minutes on it last week, and last week's installment that I filmed yesterday. I've had some time off from work, so I'm trying to catch up while I can. I'm filming this and Leaf Green. There we go. I'm going to try to swing the rear end out on this one a little bit. We're off to a pretty solid start. I just got to kind of keep this up for 9 more minutes. So we're running away a good bit here on the straight now. We got a lot more speed to carry through here now that we don't weigh quite so much. I'm going to botch that pretty hard. Can I save it? I love this car, man. I've just always had a soft spot for this thing. I really hate we didn't get them in the States, and it's actually a car that I've wanted to build a clone of for quite a while now, in some way. I mean, finding an RSI-style body kit is virtually impossible now, but there are plenty of kits that kind of look similar enough so that I feel like, you know, we'd be able to make it look semi-similar. It's still a build I really want to do because I love the Beetle RSI, and I'm like, you know, it's different than just another Golf R32, which I love the Golf R32. It's probably my favorite VW product ever made, but, you know, imagine having one of the only kind of like not RSIs in the country, so I don't know. Maybe it's something I'll do one day. We're off to a decent start right now, so just got to hang it down a few more laps. We're over a second ahead of the Evo at this point in the race. That was really good there, that segment here. I'm not usually very good in third-person view, so I'm doing this for you guys because I'm sure you guys don't want to be looking at the gravel this whole time. Swung that a little too wide there, but it's okay. Looks like he did too a little bit. I botched that corner horribly. Didn't do much better on that one. Alright, we're traversing back onto the tarmac sector here. We're not quite as far ahead as I would have liked to be right now. Keep in mind, this is where he typically will gain a lot of ground on me because this car does not do well here. Especially him sliding around like that. Alright, let's just hold things down. This is where his pace just grew last time out. So let's just stay consistent on the dirt. Try to clean up that asphalt section a little bit there because he's having a hard time with me on the dirt right now. Trying to use both pedals a little bit here. Man, he hit that wall pretty good. I think that's kind of the key with this car a little bit is I'm trying to modulate with both pedals here, gas and brake, versus just using straight throttle modulation here. Try to control the counter steer a little bit, so I'm not quite counter steering it into the wall like I've done in the past. It also kind of works to resist the drift a little bit. I'm thinking about it. Ah, crap. I hear him, but we're defending aggressively here. Alright, back on the gravel. Let's make this count. We got this lap and the next one, and we'll have the Escort Rally car in our clutches for use in the Stars and Stripes event. I believe I've already done the American Championship, but if not... Oh, no! You gotta be joking, dude. Famous last words, I guess. That put us on the back foot a little bit. We'll make it count to the rest of the lap here. Oh, come on, not again. Why? You gotta be joking. Great. Now I'm gonna choke again because now I'm under pressure. There's no way this has just happened twice. Of course, we're going into the sector where I struggle the most on this track with this car. can't believe that. It's not over yet. Finally, that was rough. Almost choked it a second time. I don't know why the car completely came unglued in that fourth lap, but we were able to make it count when I needed to. It was definitely not comfortable. That sucked a little bit, not gonna lie. But we have the Ford Escort rally car, which means now we can take that to Stars and Stripes and crush that event with that car, because I mean that's a pretty solid event. Have I done the American Championship yet? I have. So we can make use of that for a lot of different things, because that should be a fairly competent all-wheel drive car as well. Let's go ahead and head up to it. Go ahead and do an oil change. I don't have a whole lot of cash, so we're going to try to see what we can do to this car. I know it's probably already equipped with dirt tires. We're going to probably remove those and switch to some slicks. Oh, it's already got racing mediums on it. Wonderful. Okay. So with the top turbo kit, it makes about 518 horsepower. I don't really think we're going to be able to do much more other than the turbo upgrade. Yeah, that's literally all we're going to be able to do is just the turbo upgrade. So I literally just need about $2,000 more to make that happen. But I think, honestly, it should be pretty okay where it's at in terms of numbers. 4 Stars and Stripes, at least. Guess all I'm going to find out is to just go for it. I did not like how tough that rally race was, but maybe that'll be put behind us now. So I'm going to quickly do a gear ratio adjustment on this car. I'm sure the gearing is way too short for this. We're going to just widen the auto setting out to 35. Ironic we're not using this for rally racing, but here we are at Seattle, one of my favorite tracks in GT. See what this Escort can do out here. It's a good looking car. I always liked this era of Escort Cosworth and stuff like that. Which is effectively what this is. Ow. Viper just feeling the need to nearly take me out here. We got the Cobra. This will be a stout opponent, as you can see, as he cuts me to the wall there a little bit on the inside line. He's not able to out-handle me. I think I may have gone a little too wide on the gearing on this thing. I'd hope the Cobra can keep up in the corners. Yeah, I think I went way too wide on the, too tall on the gearing. Or maybe it's just the horsepower not matching. Come through the chicane here. This thing's actually pretty solid. We're already about 2.5 seconds ahead of that Cobra. Let's go ahead and swing it through here. Alright, on a lap 2. Gonna jam the brakes here going into turn 1 pretty good here. Can't really do threshold braking very well here in this game. Again, just kind of a limitation of just the way the PS2 is designed. It's really hard to modulate the throttle unless you're on a wheel, really. Which I did start this playthrough off on a wheel, but the compatibility just isn't great at all. I've heard it's a little bit better to mess with when you have a Logitech wheel, but since I have a Thrustmaster wheel, it's just not quite as aggressive. I have a bit of a checkered history with Fords. A lot of you guys may know. I had it when I started this channel. I had a Ford Explorer Sport Track for about 6 years, and it had a tendency to break down and catch on fire. So I'm not that big of a Ford guy anymore because of that. So the fact that I'm driving this right now should be a surprise to everyone, because you probably won't ever see me drive a Ford again in any of these games unless I have to. But I want to do something a little bit different, because the last time I've, done this kind of stuff, typically I'll have a Camaro or something like that for this. Whether it be the race car or one of just the road cars or something like that. I've never actually driven the Escort rally car in the career mode, to my understanding at least. So I'm gonna go in here and we're gonna shorten the gearing on this car a little bit, because it's a little too tall for me. I'd like it to be a little bit shorter, maybe level 31 or something like that might be the better place to go. Possibly also just the fact it only makes 300 horsepower. Let's jump it down to 31. We got 4 laps at the speedway. Should be pretty good. Forgot to disable traction control and stuff too. A little bit of contact from the Corvette there. We're going to just pretty much jump straight into the lead here. Yeah, that gearing is much better. See, this is where the Cobra is going to be kind of a threat. Because it is going to make more power than us, and it weighs like 5 pounds. So... we're also on slicks, so that should help out a lot here. Or racing tires, I guess I should say. Not on the racing slick compound, but you guys know what I mean. I wonder how this game would look with HD texture packs. One thing I'm really excited for, and I know I've talked about this a lot during this playthrough, is the GT3 Concepts mod. I I haven't gotten to play GT4 Spec 2, and I know a lot of people are probably bummed about that I haven't done any videos on that, considering my affinity for this series, but keep in mind, I don't have access to the online multiplayer, and I am not a fan of piracy, so I'm not keen on downloading a game that I don't physically own. If I can manage to get a hold of the online multiplayer beta, then cool. But that may just be something I just don't get to experience, and that's whatever. But GT3 Concept is something I'm looking forward to trying, because I'll obviously be able to take advantage of that since I own a copy of GT3. But yeah. A lot of people may be surprised to know that I play these on emulator. I know I've talked about this in the past, and that's something I'm going to harp on more in some future, well, probably by the time you guys are seeing this video, that video's already happened on Pokemon Leaf Green, that whole playthrough series I've been doing. But I've talked ad nauseum at this point, you know, between the community page and, you know, that video probably, you know, that Nintendo is definitely on my bad side right now, which is really unfortunate because I love their games, but I'm just not keen on their behavior when it comes to their older games that are almost impossible to play. A lot of games, especially for people like me who play a lot of the older Pokemon games, the only options I have is on actual hardware, which is expensive, unreliable, hard to find, or, you know, on emulation, which again, I own all the games that I play on emulators because I'm not a pirate. So, I mean, I don't know. For my case, it doesn't matter. I have them either way. But I don't like resetting my childhood saves. I'll talk about this in, I believe, episode 19 of this series. I don't like deleting saves, which is why I use emulators a lot, is because it allows me to have extra save files on these games that, you know, I want to play through again or something like that. Much like this. I didn't want to delete my childhood GT3 save for this. So, you know. Alright, Laguna. We've got enough cash now where I could buy that turbo upgrade, but it doesn't seem like we need it very much for this, and I don't really know when I'll get to use this car again. So, it might be my default rally car unless I get a hold of one of the Evos before then, because I do prefer the Evo. The one that we raced against, actually. Y'all could see why. I mean, I had a pretty much fully built car, and the Evo was still giving me a run for my money. Of course, part of that was driver mod related, but once again, forgot to turn off the traction control. This car does not need traction control. It launches great. It gets out of the hole so fast. The Cobra is going to go wide there, as it always does here. Oh, he is gone. So I've spent a lot of time on this track in recent months. One of the very first iRacing multiplayer type deals I did, which was just a time trial event. It wasn't even like actual wheel to wheel, because I'm more of a time attack guy. I've always said if I was going to do actual motorsport, I'd do time attack, just because battling for positions in real cars is a lot scarier to me than doing it on a sim. Because you do it on a sim, you're not hurting anybody, you know, you're not hurting yourself, you're not costing yourself tons of money if you wreck. You go in iRacing and you wreck a car into the wall, you just click the button. You may lose your race still like you would in real life, but you click a button and then, oh, you're back in the race. It might take a few minutes though, because iRacing does have that, you know, towing timer and all that stuff where you can even request a new car and stuff like that. But, you know, in real life racing, you wreck, you might be out for a bit, and it's a lot more expensive of a hobby. So I'd rather do time attack, where the risk of injury to myself, others, and my car are all significantly reduced. At that point, you know, if you wreck in time attack, you just ran out of talent. You just had a skill issue, you know, and that's that. I mean, it's really, or a mechanical failure. Like, it's not, your life, your race, and your car are not in someone else's hands. And that's always been, like, my thing with motorsport. It's why I wanted to do rally when I was younger. It's why I want to do time attack now. I just feel like I would better benefit from time attack for myself, just because it's so much harder to cause a wreck in time attack, because I mean you're racing yourself. So It's not really a battle between you and other cars. You're not having to be desperate to make maneuvers to get around somebody and try to pass offline or, late brake on somebody. It's a matter of you versus the track. And I think that's why I prefer Time Attack. And, eventually I want to get into it. We'll see in the future how financially things look for me. I make decent money in my job. But obviously, going into my future in the next year or so, getting married and being a homeowner, because yes, I'm sure you guys probably want to know, I do still live with my parents at 25, which I know about 10 years ago was taboo, but nowadays is actually quite normal, and that is because I've not had a reason to move out until now. I have a really good relationship with my parents and my family and all that stuff. I didn't have a desire to be on my own. My friends all still live with their parents for the most part. So, I mean, I've never really had a reason to move out. I don't have friends to live with because they also live with their parents. I mean, it's just one of those things. And I know a lot of the older people watching this probably think I'm crazy, but if I don't have a reason, I don't have a reason. I'm not going to put myself in financial stress just for societal norms. But anyway, few grand off of that. I know I yapped the majority of that race about stuff that didn't matter, but it is what it is. But yeah, one day we'll make things happen. All right, Seattle Circuit 2. Let's see how this goes. I think there might be a Stars and Stripes event in Amateur League. We'll go look after we do this one and get our next prize car, which I believe is a Corvette. I can't remember off the top of my head. And I once again forgot to turn track control off, but it's fine. This is just one last race. It's 2 laps. Gonna dive in the brakes a little bit here. We're gonna just swing around. There we go. This thing does handle like a dream. I'm pretty happy with this car. As much as my history with Ford makes me not want to like it. It's a solid car. It used to be a way you could actually drive this track in real life on just the roads in Seattle. But I think they demolished part of the circuit. Well, not part of the circuit per se, but part of the roads that made up the circuit. Because this track was actually based on real roads that you could actually go and drive on in Seattle. I believe it was this sector of the track right through here you could drive in real life, and they demolished it recently. If I was big into overlanding and stuff, I would live in the Pacific Northwest. Like if I was more of like a, tent on a truck kind of guy versus a go faster on a track guy. Even though California, even though California's not that far, and I could go to like Willow Springs and go to Laguna and all that stuff. Because I don't know, I've always like enjoyed how nice the Pacific Northwest looks. But I've never actually been, but I've seen pictures of it. Most I've traveled is Mississippi to the west, or Memphis, Tennessee. I guess technically more west than Mississippi is, but been to Memphis. That's about as far west as I've been. And the farthest north I've been is Washington, D.C. I went there in 2007, I want to say, 2008, when I was a kid. Someone said the word alarm, and as a kid on the spectrum who was afraid of fire alarms, I had an anxiety attack, and they had to let me off the elevator early from the tour. Yeah, I ruined a lot of people's day that day. Can't help it, though. I was also, 14 years ago? Maybe? I don't know. No, not 14. Either way, y'all get the idea. It was a long time ago. Which makes me feel old to say that 2008 was that long ago. Or 2000, I don't even remember when it was, because 2007 I was in 3rd grade, and I remember this was in 2nd grade, so it may have been 2006. Regardless, it's been a minute. All right, let's round the final corner here. Power down. Try to avoid the cone that was in the road. And bring it on home one more time with the Escort, and one more time for this video, because I just looked, we're at 30 minutes. So I know the last couple of videos were kind of long, and I appreciate you guys sitting with me through that. This one, I'm pretty close to the links of previous videos. That was pretty fun. That was a good little series. Escort did really well. Let's see what our prize card is. I'm pretty sure it's a Corvette. It looks kind of like a Camaro now. It is. It is a F-Body SS. I used to hate them growing up. I'm not even gonna lie. I hated those cars as a kid, but they've grown on me a lot in recent years when it comes to Camaros. So let's see. We still have pretty much just the one make stuff left, which is we have the Honda stuff, the Vitz stuff, the Altezza, the Mercedes stuff, and the TT race. I'm gonna save the Mercedes event for last in both this and the Amateur League, I believe. For obvious reasons. I mean, it's just nothing I can do about that. Okay, so there is the Stars and Stripes in the Amateur League, but I think I'm going to save that for later because I want to get some other stuff done with cars that I already have built. We still have a lot to do here. Goodness. So we can do Evo meeting as well here at some point. We can bring the yellow Evo back one more time. But we do have Stars and Stripes to do again, so the Escort may reappear for that. But for now, on that bombshell of not knowing where to go next, it is time to end. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. It's been a fun one. This was a fun video. Also, just getting to yap to you guys and vent about life for a few minutes. I'm sure you guys probably didn't care all that much or ask, but it was nice to just, feel like I was talking to a friend almost, and that is something that I enjoy about doing these gaming videos, even if there's no one to respond to my yapping. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time. Have a fantastic day.